From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and
Welcome to ATN Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to prefer solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, we'll be discussing numbers of issues. On economic, President Tinubu says over 90 million Nigerians lack access to electricity. From Rivers State Youth Council held Edison as new Speaker of Assembly. From Abia State, Governor Oti plans cutting down cost of government. These are the stories we'll be looking at today, and I won't be discussing this alone. I have with me a social commentator and a writer. I will introduce him to you after the short break.
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentary. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on day. On 18. From
You watch an Atlantic television network, and of course, I told you I won't be having this conversation alone today. I have with me a social commentator, Mr. Stephen Africa. Thank you so much for joining me.
Okay, good day, ma.
It's good having you. All right, let's look at our stories for today. Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu laments the inability of over 90 million Nigerians to access electricity despite the federal government's privatization of the sector 10 years ago. President Tinubu, who spoke at the 10th year anniversary of the Nigerian electricity supply industry market participants and stakeholders roundtable in Abuja, said through a special advisor on power infrastructure, Sadiq Wanka, said that what is worse is that the total amount of electricity that can be wheeled through the national grid has remained relatively flat in the last 10 years. The grid capacity has increased from just over 300 megawatts to typically just over 400 megawatts today versus a 440,000 megawatts targeted by 2020 that the federal government underset pre-privatization. He lamented that every kWh of the electricity sent to the grid, only 60% of it is paid off for, but as we know, even the tariff paid for that unit of electricity is far from being cost-reflective, especially in the light of the recent devaluation of the naira. He said that the licenses are expected to expire very soon and the federal government will scrutinize the investment and infrastructure that has been made in the power sector by the partners. Of course, it's not a new thing that majority of Nigerians are in a total blackout and electricity is not going around, but every month the least Nigerian is paying for tariff, but yet we still experience this issue. So the president is not far from it when he said that about 90 million are still do not have electricity. But again, it is good that the president is very much aware of this and it has come to a known. But my question is, have they put some modalities in place that they will be able to target this? Or could it be part of policies that, I mean, most time they come out and make statement at the end of the day to just end there. Is it just a mere statement or the president is ready to do something for this 90 million to benefit from electricity?
Okay, I believe, first of all, it's a good one that the president is aware of the issues that are coming in the country. But I believe he also should look at modalities in which he cannot curb these issues. Now he has said 90 million persons don't have electricity. So what are the arsenals in place of which he intends making sure that at least these persons have electricity in their homes? At least to bring it to the barest minimum, if not eradicating it's totally, that there should be no power failure issues in the country, because we've seen so many political issues that have streamlined this period. But at least, what are the measures is put in place now? Because ever since electricity in Nigeria was privatized, whereby we see they moved from NEPA to power holding and to what they are now. PhD. So I think if the presidency and its governance can see how these issues of electricity can be settled once and for all, I believe it will be a good one than making it a political statement.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What do you think they can do? What should they do to be able to curb this menace? We had somewhere in Sagamo, that's I think that's Ogun State. They complained that for over 2 years they don't have lights. I mean, that's just one of the many. We have one of the few I will talk about. But we have so many communities. We have so many, I wouldn't say states, because most places, if you go to the state capital, you will realize that it's just so amazing. You want to be there. But when you get into some of the communities, that's when you realize what the president is actually talking about. What do you think they can do to be able to eradicate this? Because it's a serious issue. I mean, without electricity, this business will still be stagnant in Nigeria. So what do you think they can do?
Now let's look at, first of all, the two things that brings in development into a society is electricity and road. Now, if the president is aware of this, now he has what Ministry of Power and Electricity. So now in this Ministry of Power, they also have sub, which is the commissioners, which is the various commissioners in the states, which are in charge of electricity, which is the power. So if through this is ministry, he can what schedule it down to the states and see how these commissioners can look at those loopholes, those areas, those local governments that don't have these electricity supply, can see how they can what pushing those things there, pushing transformers and light. I believe we can because for crying out loud, Nigeria is giving electricity to a few countries closer to us, of which I don't intend to mention their names. But if Nigeria can give, can issue, can launch out electricity to these countries, how about the country itself? So the governance, the presidency, His Excellency Mr. Boleda Tinubu should look into that direction, as he has looked into. He should start action and say he can push in arsenals, and all these things will be what will be covered. Thank you.
Now, do you see? Are you optimistic about this? That this is not just going to be one of those headlines that politicians will just come out and say something, at the end of the day it will die down? Do you see President doing something about this let me say in the nearest future?
I pray so, but actually in this present governance, we've had so many issues, so many talks, so many things that have been said, but I don't see the feasibility of it. But we pray so that in the nearest future it should, since you have said it, but to me it is sounding too holistically, it's sounding too political. But God will help us. Since He has said it, it will come to play. Thank you.
All right, because the president of this country has said this, we hope that this is not just going to be one of those headlines, that he will do something tangible about this electricity. And I believe if this is done, Nigeria business will skyrocket from where we are now to where we want to be, even beyond. This is a Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll go on a short break to return after now. Do stay with us. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and I still have with me Stephen Akrika in the studio. Now going to the rest of our stories. This one is coming from Rivers State. Chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria and Rivers State Chapter and South Zone, Ambassador Ilhowo Chikwoke, has warmly facilitated the Right Honorable H.A. Edison on his emergence as the new Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, and urged him to give his best.
Well, I actually, first of all, looking at what I've transpired these few days, um, I, I could say River State and governance have gone past this level. This level, because I believe few years ago, 8 years, 9 years ago, it occurred in River State, where we had issues like this and all that. But coming to when I saw what happened in the state, whereby trying to impeachment and no impeachment, putting these arsenals in place, I felt River State should look out to how we can harness how we can harness good structures, good things that will bless the state. Not trying to see how we'll pluralize with Edison on standby as a Speaker of the House. I believe things will be put in place. I believe he will use his arsenal as a new speaker to make sure that the governance in the state is peaceful. Because first of all, what will glamour for in the state is what is peace and security. Thank you.
Now, you are saying that because Edison is a speaker now, that you believe things will be put in place. Why do you think so?
First of all, looking at what transpired with the issue of and all that. So please, what we really want is that any arsenal that should be put in place, anybody that is coming to stand, should bring in peace in the state. Thank you.
All right, our next story is coming from Abia State. Governor Alex Oti of Abia State says that his administration has initiated measures to cut down the cost of governance to the barest minimum and save money for the state's rapid development, infrastructure, and other meaningful ventures to improve the well-being of the citizens. Oti, who made this known at this month's media interactive section held at the government house, Omoya, said the money saved from frivolous spending by past administration had made it possible for his governors to pay salaries and pension and also mobilize contractors to site for the ongoing major developmental projects. According to him, the present administration is focused on financial re-engineering to ensure that the resources of the state were properly handled by professionals for the best results and assure the people of the state that their money is in safe hands. This is another good news. Yeah, if we know if there is one state that is still struggling, the infrastructure are not just in place, but road and all of that is Abia State. And then the governor has come out to say, this money, this finance, all of this is no longer for one person to sit down and eat. They are ready to make sure that this money goes.
That place, that city is, and government is coming to play to see how he can revamp the state is a good one. So him now getting a sum of 100,000 from this person to see how he can refurbish his state. It shouldn't be a political issue anyway, or a political aspiration that will end up in the lips of just the governor and the governance. Rather, it should be implemented. But seeing how about the internal help the state, and it's through from the police and this extortion and that. Well, let's see how that goes.
Now, the governor, according to him, that the money that goes from past administration, they use it to pay salaries and also settle some of the things in the state, and that's all of this to make the citizens to feel that yes, indeed someone has come to, someone is leading.
As governor, if you watch the people of Abia, they were so happy because how he emerged and all that, and everybody wanted him. So if now coming to play, if this is achieved, wow, everybody in fact, Abia State will be a home for all sundries. Everybody want to go there, because now looking at if you can call this, if you can fish out these funds, and then you're taking it to feed the poor masses, then it will be a good spot for inhabitants. Thank you.
All right, congratulations to Abia State people, and we will say a very big thank you to the governor of Abia State for that single act of kindness. It shows that indeed you are ready to work for the people of Abia State. And the next story is from Ogun State. A citizen of Ogun State, Mr. Oyibe Michael, called our Nigerian police force over attempts by some officers who allegedly demanded 100,000 from him to issue a report over an auto crash at Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State. According to Mr. Oyibe, who spoke with journalists on Monday, said, "We were asked to write a statement and present our car's documents when I made photocopies of them as instructed, but the commercial driver was given preferential treatment despite the inability to present his vehicle's documents. The owner of the commercial vehicle requested the sum of 100,000 for damages, which I declined because according to the officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps, we led a complaint to. The reputation fee is supposed to be shared equally between both parties involved since it is an accident." He said the policemen were on the side of the commercial driver. 50,000. She is even the one that will write it and give it to the DPO to sign. Then I requested to see the DPO myself, but she refused. Oyibo said, "My car has been in the custody of the police since October 13 and it cannot be released unless I repay the commercial boss. I cannot afford 100,000 to pay for the police report requested by the insurance company so they can pay for the damages." The spokesperson for the Ogun State Police Command said, Omolola Odutola said, "Police request was an official requirement and that is was usually paid for, but the fee charged by the officer was strange to her." It is not a new thing that these police people has been allegedly extorting money from people. So, and now coming up here, I remember yesterday because in Ekiti State, the governor said if anybody come with gunshot to the hospital, they should treat. And then they also said something: when a citizen, when a civilian runs to you, you should pay attention to the person. And then looking at what the inspector said, the female inspector said that this amount of money they just charged is strange to her. I can help with 50,000. It means that if 100,000 is legal, she wouldn't have any right to say, okay, I'm going to take 50,000. What are we going to do? What is the government going to do to stop this extortion? What measures are they going to put in place to be able to tackle this? Because people complain every blessed day, but it seems that nothing has been done about it. What is the way forward?
Now, if we look at the Nigerian system, the police, every day there's been one issue about the police. Every day, you look on around the streets, between the motorists and the commercial drivers and all that, you see that there are issues about this police. Now, is it that the IG of police or the commissioner of police have no measure to put the other, but that of the police, it is what is it on a daily basis. In fact, not on a per second, per hour basis. So, looking at now, you're saying if it is legal, if it's legal that based on there should be a documentation whereby the citizens will know that if you commit social crime, this is the amount you pay. So now, if they are driving on the street and they've committed social crime, within them they know that this is their what, the offense. Not that you come and maybe you feel that this is the amount. Look at what the inspector said, that 100,000, 50,000, not the rest. Shouldn't be called for. If you let it be legal, like if you could go, someone asked me, said, how do he get the constitution of the country to know his state? Because he drives this commercial, is a commercial driver. And he wants to know his mandate in the state, to know what to say to a police to this police harassment and all that. I said, well, the constitution of the state is being sold everywhere. He said, how wish they can all get it. I said, yes. But I believe if this constitution has been issued around to everybody, you have a take home of it, and you go through it, you study it, get towards the monetary aspects. Some of these offenses, you look at them, you tell them, okay, you free them, or you give them some measures. Oh, okay, you're to park for 2 hours. That's the punishment. Now, the person knows that for social offense, he's parking here for 2 hours. No movement. After which, he leaves without extortion. Not everything you want to streamline it into what? Into monetizing it. It's an error.
Now, the Inspector General gave an instruction yesterday that we saw in a report that if anyone is involved in a gunshot, it does not matter whether it's robbery or whatsoever. The first thing that
one thing very difficult, because even if you're able to assess the divisional police headquarters and you say maybe you want them to grant you maybe for the inspector of police or anybody to sign a document for you. You see, you may even stay there a whole day. You will not be able to. They will not allow you to assess.
Have you been in that situation before?
Yes, a cousin of mine who picked a police recruitment form and was looking for someone to attest for him, which is very declared that it must be from social rank and all that. I went with him. We tried. We went just to sign. Yet the police inspector who ASP was in the office. Yet we were being asked to. There is no around another. But after when it was on that sector, someone had called on that we should see them properly so we can enter and see the. I said, this person is not in the office. Now he's not in the office, so we should see them properly so we can enter. So if you look at the system is really what? It's really deteriorating.
They seeing them properly, let me ask, I hope I won't be wrong to ask, was it about payment or what exactly, or you should walk in properly? What exactly are you talking about?
See, your own Nigerians, when someone in the office tells you that you should see properly, it means that you should what? According to what J.P. Clark wrote in his poem, he says, over there in America, that handshake is for bouquet, which is for flowers. But here in Nigeria, handshake is for gold. It means that handshake means you should extend some level of what? Gold. Some level of finance to the man on the seat there to enable your file move smoothly.
No, I wanted to make it, we're on air right now, so I wanted to make it, I wanted to speak in a way a layman can understand. This goal you're talking about, because you said you should enter properly, it means, I want to know if what this man just said in a report, if it is not quite far from it. Was it about payment?
Yes, it was about payment.
So what did you do at that moment?
It was about payment. We should see properly. That means we should drop something on the table. Money on the table, and so for his papers to skate through, I looked at the young man in prison because he was the one that wants it to be signed, and he was eager about it. I said, "What do you say?" And the man was not even ready to even look at us without the funds. The young man said, after much plea and plea, he did not.
Without proper entry.
But the law, because even the amount okay, at the point he brought us something to give, and the policeman